right, it's that time once again. Welcome to the Friday Show. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Ray Paulick, who is obviously still in Southern California. I can see the beach towel behind you, Ray. Coming up on the show, the Mad Genius is back. What exactly is a length, anyway? But first, we have to talk about American Pharoah's performance in the Haskell last weekend. Scale of 1 to 10, Ray, how do you rate it?
Well, visually, it's a 10. The horse could not have won easier. It was so impressive. Victor Espinosa geared him down in the final furlong almost to a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an optical illusion there. It looked like Keen Ice was gaining on him. Of course, he was never going to catch him if Victor wanted to go faster. But then when you start to look at who he beat and the quality of the field, not so good. There was only one other Grade 1 winner in the race. That was Competitive Edge, who won a Grade 1 as a 2-year-old at Saratoga sprinting. Keen Ice is eligible for an entry-level allowance race. Would you have rather seen him run in that race or coming up this weekend in the Whitney Stakes up at Saratoga, which doesn't have one Grade 1 winner or two? It's got 7 Grade 1 winners in the field. That would have been a race where you can build a legacy.
Yeah, I agree. The Haskell was basically a parade, a celebration of American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown after so many years. And there's nothing wrong with that. And from the connection standpoint, after the layoff, they probably didn't want to put him in a race where there's such intense competition. But looking back on it years from now, I'm sure I'd rather have seen him go in that Whitney Stakes because it's all relative to the crop, but I don't think you could assemble a better field among this crop of older horses. You've got Tonalist, Honor Code, Lee, Noble Bird, Wicked Strong. It's a darn good field. I can't wait for this race. And let us know who you think's going to win the Whitney Stakes this weekend. Take our poll on the website, PaulickReport.com. Ray, our hashtag of the week has to be Mad Genius because Michael Dickinson, the founder of the Tapeta Racing Surface, is getting back into the training business. He was a trainer before. But at age 65, are you surprised that he's making this move?
Well, not really. Michael has been hinting at this for a little while now. Let's not forget he was a very, very successful trainer. In England, he was a champion steeplechase trainer. He had the first 5 finishers in the Cheltenham Gold Cup. He came here, and from 1990 to 2006, he trained nearly 600 winners. He won the Breeders' Cup Mile twice with the Haas in 96 and 98, with one prep race in between. Just an amazing accomplishment. And he was the Mad Genius in England. He was the Mad Genius here, and he'll be the Mad Genius again because he can't wait, he said, to try some of these new training methods that he's picked up traveling the world.
Yeah, he's going to be working with them on his Tapeta farm, and I can just see him he's kind of like the guy in a laboratory, like Back to the Future, hatching his plans. He seems so excited about some of them. There's something called high altitude stables, where I guess it's replicating the environment of the mountains. And then there's a bronco delivery system. There's biomechanical analysis, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun to see if it actually works. I mean, high altitude stabling, that sounds a little bit controversial maybe. It sounds a little bit like blood doping.
Well, I think the principle is the same, but it's what Olympic athletes have been doing for years. Michael Phelps sleeping in an oxygen tent, and a lot of Olympic athletes training in Colorado so they can pump more blood into their blood, more oxygen into their blood system. It's a natural delivery system versus the illegal use of blood doping agents.
Well, it's nice to see some creativity in the training game. Michael Dickinson, welcome back. Well, Ray, we got an email this week from Tom asking this question. What exactly is a length? When you talk about how many lengths a horse won by, obviously you assume it's the length of a horse, but isn't there a little bit more to it than that?
Well, the length is traditionally measured from the nose of the horse to the beginning of his tail, and in measurement terms, it's roughly 8 feet. So, if you lose by a length, you lose by 8 feet. A half length, 4 feet. It takes 2 heads to be a neck and 2 necks to be a half a length. Now, if you're watching a race and you want to determine how much your horse won by, 1 second equals about 5 lengths. So, if your horse won by 2 seconds, 1001, 1002, that means he won by 10 lengths, which is, by the way, a very good win.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that. That's a good point, something to use. on the racetrack. But I'm doing some quick math, and I'm thinking about Secretariat, 31 lengths. That's like about 80 yards. It's almost a football field. But the question is, how do you actually determine that? I don't see a guy out there with a tape measure. So how do you actually determine that it was 31?
The margins of a finish of a race are very specific, and they're measured by the photo finish camera, which takes a long strip image when the first horse crosses that finish line and trips the camera. When the next horse hits the finish line, it does the same thing, and so on and so on. So for each horse in a race, the final margins are very specific as they're determined by the photo finish camera. It's not an estimate.
It is an estimate when they're going around the track and you've got the
Right.
chart callers doing it. Good question, Tom. Thanks for sending it in. And if you have a question, click on the Ask Ray button on our website. That's going to do it for this edition of the Friday Show. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.